Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. On first down, Wentz hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And that was a good run. This is only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On first down, they run with Howard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Hang in there now. Sunday.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Here comes the seventh play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down.
Drag him, drag him. That's it. Trey 15, Trey 15.
Shotgun now for Wentz. He leads this one for Howard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
This is Howard on second down. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets around him. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. And Elliott puts this one through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here's Foles. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On play action, they'll throw. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Foles. And that is incomplete. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7-0 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
82, 82.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And that'll be incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now Foles. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wentz to throw on second down. Ertz has it left side. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 23. Wentz going to throw. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in the zone.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back here right after this. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Grade 15, grade 15.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
82, 40. Flag. Great. Forward, Tokyo. Flag, come on. Great. Good shot.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 15. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And Lambeau will put this one through, and they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So we've reached halftime. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. Oh, nice move. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up.
Touchdown, Jaguars! DJ Chark with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score.
When we drop defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll give to Howard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
81, 81. That's it. 81, 81.
Now Wentz on third down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Shorty. 81, 81.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Eagles on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2. Wentz. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear, but here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th.
82.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. A.J. Bouye, the fine quarterback, there to make the play defensively. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
A good pickup there at 22.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And that's off the mark, incomplete. With the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Throwing his Wentz. Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's go.
They run with Howard, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here we go. 120.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Looking deep for his tight end. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if a quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you can do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out come the Jags. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On third down, Fournette. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Foles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Rodney McLeod that time able to knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to have a third down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
They pitch out to Howard. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down. toss out wide to Sanders. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
They go with Howard again. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Howard. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond.